You weren't supposed to see that yet.
Do you remember?
Redraw.
Redraw. Do you remember?
Redraw.
Hello, everybody.
Do you remember?
Welcome to another episode, season 2 of Recall Redraw. That's right. We have a season 1. You can catch all our episodes on Twitch or on my YouTube channel at Cruz. Hours and hours of wonderful conversations with wonderful artists. And I'm starting off this season with another artist, with Austin Amberg. What?
Right.
What? Can everyone hear Austin?
Hello. Hey.
Maybe that's a little too loud.
It's me.
Austin, how you doing?
I'm an artist.
Austin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. It's a splendid time. It's too loud. If it's too loud, then it's too loud.
Is it
I
too
don't know.
loud?
I can't listen to it.
I can bring it down a little more.
Chat. Oh, hold on. Actually, I think I'm a little.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it back up.
It's really hard to listen to my audio while.
I'll bring the music down a little bit. The music that you made, by the way. So, folks, this is my buddy Austin. We actually know each other in real life. We've actually shared a stage in real life.
Wow. So true.
Do you remember that?
Where was that stage?
Excuse me. That stage was in the Gilman. The Gilman that Green Day actually used to play on. Fun little fact.
I also saw the Locust there, band that I still enjoy, but
I'm not familiar with Locust.
I also heard about a band called Hella that I really like.
Uh-huh.
They were opening for the Locust, and that's how I found them, was through being there. And yeah, great place in the. We're allowed to say where we are, right?
We could say that. Oh, we're still loud?
No, they're loud. The Locusts are loud.
Oh, the Locusts are loud.
Yeah, they're also loud, unless they're talking about you. But I think they're talking about the Locust.
And the Locusts.
Yeah, we're allowed to say who we are.
Yes, go for it.
Oh, I just mean like where we are. I guess you said we're at the Gilman. I don't know what the rules are. You know.
No, you can say it. I mean, you're using your government.
What are the rules
You're
tonight?
using your government name. Your coworkers are probably watching this right now.
They aren't. I highly doubt it.
You don't know that?
Coworkers,
They didn't
if you're
see-
in the chat,
They didn't see your Blue Sky post?
let me know. I don't think so. I don't have my real name on my Blue Sky.
Oh, that's true.
So I guess technically I didn't even make a Blue Sky post because I'm not on Blue Sky.
But Austin and I,
Right.
we're from the Bay
East
Area
Coast.
music scene.
That's right.
I am no longer. Would you consider yourself still part of the Bay Area music scene?
I mean, I would almost say like, why are you not?
Because I made an active. The show that we played together was my going away show. Like we literally billed it as that.
You performed like more recently than I have.
When?
I mean, you performed at your wedding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's not with my band. That's with my wife.
Yeah, but that's part of that was in the Bay Area. That was part of the music scene, right?
I wouldn't call Napa the Bay Area, but
Okay. It's a type of cabbage.
it is. But it isn't part of the Bay Area. So Austin and I, we've known each other from both not just the music scene, but also from a fun group of internet friends.
Oh.
Of
Okay.
comic book artists and creators and
Someone from that group is here right now.
someone from that's right. Mahjong players. Austin and I have seen it and done it all. And so I'm really happy to have you, Austin, here on this show. I'm
happy to be here.
You've been here in spirit with your music. All the music that, besides the stuff that Gabe makes. Gabriel Tiburcio is another Bay Area musician that we both have played with. But you made this custom track for this segment.
Yeah.
You've sold the rights to all your music to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You paid. What was it, like
$50
$50
per album that I'm using here.
Yeah. 50. No.
Yes.
Way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta talk to my tax guy.
You gotta talk to whoever finances your Bandcamp.
I didn't know I was making that kind of money on Bandcamp. I gotta get the login.
The way I didn't really calculate it, but the way I thought of it was Spotify pays pretty shitty. Is known infamously for paying artists very shittily. And I thought like, okay, what would I don't know, I've probably played 10 hours of your music on this show so far.
I got a little fun fact for
Yeah?
you.
What is it?
Oh, here, look. I'm gonna move my drawing a little bit. I've been on streaming for 13 years, I think. Yeah, I've been on streaming for 13 years, and the total amount of money. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Drum roll, please.
Wait, can we guess, folks? Okay.
Yeah.
So how many years of streaming music?
13 years.
Okay.
I've been on streaming.
13 years that Austin has been streaming his music on how many platforms?
Oh, I don't even know. Countless.
Okay. How much money do you think Austin has made streaming music? Any guesses? $53, $13. Some good guesses.
Is this the giveaway for tonight?
Some very poor outlooks on art here.
I don't know how many people there are to wait for, because my view doesn't.
I think only 2 people guessed. All right, so between $53 and $13, were they close?
If we're using Price is Right rules, then Scout got it.
All right.
Because it was $46.
$46, 13 years of streaming.
Yeah. And if we're using something else rules, I don't know what else there is. I don't know what other kind of games with money.
Spin the wheel or whatever they call it.
I don't know. Yeah, with a different game than Cyrus wins. So we didn't establish whether it was like an over or under kind of thing.
And so you're not happy with streaming is what I can gather from this. I think they're paying you too much.
I think I think I don't know. That's a complicated question.
Yeah.
Because like the concept. I mean, let's be real. I know that we're only 5 minutes into this or whatever, but let's be real. It's not streaming that's the problem. If you know, you know.
You can say it. You can say it.
I used my government name. I don't know if I can say things like that with my government name.
I was ready to talk to you about conspiracy theories.
Well, you probably should have told me before I.
Oh yeah, I did not vet Austin at all about what we were doing today.
Yeah, I don't really know what we're doing. Yeah, but no,
it's capitalism, folks. It's capitalism.
Yeah, it really just comes from the way that it's all the motivation.
Yeah. It's the reason the U.S. comic book industry is in the shit, because if it's not selling an IP, if it's not selling a movie, if it's not selling toys, they're not gonna fund it.
I can turn myself up a little bit. Yeah. Why would they? If there's no profit motive, there's no reason to.
It's unfortunate, and there's a whole conversation that we could have in this segment. Because I'd love to get into this with you about the state of art as it is.
Sure.
But we have an important thing to reveal. Austin,
Okay.
I picked a very fun theme for you. Are you ready to hear what that theme is? Folks, are we ready to hear what the theme of tonight's episode is? All right. The episode, the theme for tonight's episode, folks, is... It's freaking Spider-Man! Austin, you had no clue!
Wait, is it really?
It's really Spider-Man.
Wait, when I said, is it Spider-Man earlier today?
So...
And you said no.
No, well, okay, so...
Are you telling me the one thing I guessed is the thing that it is?
Yeah. I didn't even change it. That's literally what I had set up before we... So usually... So when I bring
There's two ways this could have gone.
When
you either didn't have something ready, and I guessed it, and you're like, you know what? Okay, yeah, let's do Spider-Man.
No. When we bring our guests on, I do an onboarding session with the guests so we can make sure that their iPad is working correctly, and I don't reveal the theme. But while Austin was drawing for his test, he drew a very green goblin-y character that I, mental slip. I tell him, wow, that's a really green goblin-y character you're drawing, and I hit myself in the head thinking, fuck, like I just spoiled the surprise. And then Austin goes, wait, is the theme Spider-Man? And I go, no. Amazing Spider-Man, exactly.
Amazing Spider-Man. Great, yeah, I look forward to. Do you pick
so
you pick somebody and then I have to draw?
Correct. So I'll just kind of rehash it for the audience. The way recall redraw works is we recall, which essentially without reference, without looking it up, we try to remember what some of the characters that we're going to challenge each other with are, and we try our best to draw them from memory, and then we'll look at what they actually look like. So I would tell you, we're not allowed to look anything up. Austin is going to challenge me with a character. I'm going to challenge Austin, but we can still not look it up. So if you vaguely remember a character, you have to give me a description if I don't know who that is. But I'd say Spider-Man has quite the cast of recognizable characters. Austin, I know you're a great fan of comic books, of Marvel. I can imagine you have some pretty deep cuts that I'm more than happy to take on.
How many characters do we do?
So I wanted to keep it open for you. Since we can keep the conversation about music, which is what I want to focus on. How about we just draw as many Spider-Man villains as we can?
Villains?
Yeah. Or do you want to do just the whole, all the kind of Spider-Mans?
Hey, it's your show. It's your show.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're my guest.
Whatever. What?
So be it.
I mean, because let's just do Spider-Man. Let's do the World Wide Web of Spider-Man. How about that?
Okay, I only know two Spider-Men: Miles Morales and Peter Parker.
Really? You don't know Ben Reilly?
Is that the clone?
Yeah.
With the clone with the vest.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do some of these.
Yeah, look at you. Oh, come on! You don't know Spider-Man Noir?
Okay, I know the Enter the Spider-Verse. Yes. Okay, so
yeah. See, okay.
So are we challenging ourselves to draw as many Spider-Man as we can as we talk?
Well, I thought don't I propose one? Oh, you're just saying.
Well, I mean,
yeah, what I was thinking is you propose a character to me, I propose a character to you. I feel like that's fun.
Yeah,
but
let's
do it.
Let's do it. I the reason that I hesitated for a second there was but don't all Spider-Man just look the same?
No, not at all. It's a little
okay. So
classist of you.
Do you have somebody in mind?
For you?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me think for a bit.
Okay. You didn't come. Oh, because you thought we would just. Okay, I gotcha.
Because we don't know. Because also we don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't pick the themes ahead of time. Like I mean, I don't pick the characters ahead of time.
You don't pick the themes ahead of time.
No.
I gave you the theme 10 minutes ago, and you decided to go with that. Yeah, for sure.
All right. How about
Yeah.
you draw me Again, they all look the same. Superior Spider-Man, I thought was gonna have Doc, but he doesn't have Doc Ock arms.
It doesn't have to be a Spider-Man though.
Oh, okay.
You could just pick anybody. Like pick anybody. I have a character who's not Spider-Man that I want to propose to you.
Okay. Hold on. I want to think of somebody obscure. Let's do.
I'm even gonna remember how they look.
No, I don't think they're. I think a lot of these villains are very recognizable. I would like to see you draw Morbius.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I can't draw anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Everyone can draw. Gosh.
Yeah. No, that's no problem.
Before you pick yours, help me out here. Does Spider-Man have red on his boots and gloves, or is it?
This is great. Were you drawing Spider-Man that whole time?
Yeah, because you're not watching the stream, so I don't think you're.
What a little trick! Huh? What a little trick you did. Huh?
You like the Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and he's holding a sundial.
Yeah.
Which everyone's gonna be really excited when they hear about how the album is a Spider-Man themed.
Is it?
When we talk about my album, it's a Spider-Man themed album.
Gosh,
no.
I do not remember how his costume goes. This is a new Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man Earth, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so who do you want me to draw?
I want you to draw Gwen Stacy.
Oh, okay. I could do that.
And,
wait, what? Why are you laughing?
I'm thinking a certain Gwen Stacy, but I don't know if I can be as particular as which Gwen Stacy.
Go for it. What Gwen Stacy?
When you think of Gwen Stacy, there's really only two options.
There's
right?
only one I know.
No.
Are you trying to say alive or dead?
No. Spoilers for people who have. That's like issue like 200 and something. That's
everybody's caught up. That's like movie number 2 of Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. Everybody watched that. No, I'm thinking Mexican Gwen Stacy.
There's a Oh, there is from the Mexican Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. I like that.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
No, but that's not the point. The point is I have to figure whatever she's gonna look like.
If I can't look at a picture, it's gonna be really hard for me to tell you how to different.
All right, Austin. Describe to me what a Mexican Gwen Stacy looks like to a Mexican person.
Jeez. You figure it out. I'll let you use your artistic. Your artistic.
I need. You've seen these episodes.
She's very detailed.
Okay.
She's very. A lot of effort is put into how she's drawn.
She's okay. She's very detailed. I need more things to draw here.
What is she wearing? I'm trying to remember. She's wearing a blouse. Is that what she usually wears?
Doesn't Gwen Stacy wear like a vet? Like what's it called? Like a sweater vest, right?
See, what I'm remembering. See, I'm thinking there's a pencil skirt, but I don't think that's right. I think she's just wearing jeans, very 70s looking jeans.
Well, because the Mexican Spider-Man was like a 70s. It was 70s.
Yeah.
Right?
So very 70s looking. She's got
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if Mexican Gwen Stacy is blonde or not. Even
I would fathom. I would guess that Mexican Gwen Stacy has black hair.
Well, I
We're-
was
we're-
talking about
we're gonna-
Mexican drawn Gwen Stacy.
We're gonna compare. You said Mexican Gwen Stacy, not Mexican drawn Gwen Stacy.
Okay, we're making a new character up. Then. We're making a new character up. Okay, we're making a new character up. It's gonna be great.
Here's my here. Okay, I'm not gonna ask for more physical description. What I need help with is my knowledge of Gwen Stacy as a character in the Spider-Man universe is fairly limited.
Okay.
What kind of character is Gwen Stacy? And does Mexican Gwen Stacy in the comics have a different kind of attitude? Like, is she adventurous?
So
Because Mary Jane was like a flirt, right? Like she was like, "Hey,
Yeah,
tiger."
yeah. Well, do you know the story behind that stuff?
No.
With like why? Okay, so they redid the stories with the same art, but the covers were different. So the covers would be new art, but then the inside would be like art from something else. And actually, sometimes it was art from comics that weren't even Spider-Man. Like there's one that the inside issue is actually like an issue of Daredevil,
Oh, interesting.
but they drew Spider-Man instead.
On the cover?
No, like
As Daredevil instead of Daredevil, they drew Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, she's sassy too. Yeah, gosh, it's really hard to try to describe her.
Are you looking at the Mary Jane I'm drawing?
Oh, okay. Is this?
Well,
Oh, you're drawing Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Is this to help to create a foil for her? So
Yeah.
you're gonna do the opposite of this. Okay.
you know how she's always talking about calling Peter Parker tiger?
Yeah.
It's almost like she doesn't know what animal he is.
Like, didn't she say like you hit the jackpot or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a tiger. See?
Okay. Yeah, no, it's great. That's all I can do for you. That's all I can help you with. Is
Okay.
that enough? Is that enough for you?
Okay, that's all I got. Do you remember what Morbius looks like?
Well, you want to give me some, for the sake of the game, you want to give me some.
If you know what he looks like, you can run with it. I usually only ask for help.
No, I think it's fun to get the help.
So
I want your...
Morbius, I believe they were trying to make him like vaguely Eastern European because of the whole Dracula thing, which is like you could still make a vampire. Like you could just make any, like Blade was a vampire and he wasn't from Transylvania, but they really needed to sell the vampireness. He had a trench. I'm telling you, animated series, Morbius.
you want animated series?
Yes. He had like that cool trench coat. He had suction cups on on his hands. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because he couldn't bite people.
Yeah, what was that, like a TV thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Yeah. He had a trench coat? Okay.
Yeah, he had like a black trench coat. It was like it's because he was also like a lab guy, right? He was a science guy.
Yeah, he was a scientist.
And it was almost like an anti-lab coat. So rather than being white, he wore a black like lab coat.
Okay.
And I think it's like every character in that series wore jeans. So I think he was just wearing jeans.
Okay. Lab coat, jeans,
Suckers on his hands,
suckers. Okay.
and long black hair is what I remember, but not Jared Leto long.
Okay. Great. Perfect. All right, are we
Cool.
ready?
Yeah,
Are we ready
let's
to
do
go?
it. Let's do it.
All right.
So
All right, it's time to draw.
before we get into your music, what like when did you start getting into Marvel? And is Spider-Man is Spider-Man in your top, or is it like do you have
Spider-Man a top? I don't know. Spider-Man a top. That's a hard question.
Is Spider-Man your favorite?
I do like Spider-Man quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think that there is a lot to do with the character. I think there. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry, my feed died. Yeah, I think there's a lot to do with the character. Like you can accomplish a lot with the character, and I think that and I'm talking like early stuff. The Spider-Verse stuff I think is a little dubious.
Mhm.
Some of it is a little I don't know. It's kind of
Dubious in the storytelling, or like the reason
yeah,
that
yeah.
the-
Like some of it doesn't really like work for me,
Mhm,
and,
mhm.
and it can feel a little, a little contrived at times. But it's okay, right? Like you do what you can. But I really do like the city stuff a lot,
Mhm,
like city level kind of teen drama stuff.
mhm.
So yeah, that's my answer.
Was that your introduction to Marvel, Spider-Man?
What was Spider-Man? I think X-Men might have been, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I don't know if I've told you this story before, but I went to a convention and I asked Stan Lee if I could use X-Men characters in my comics.
Like, whoa, you could use like the license, or just like, hey, be a buddy.
I mean, I was like 5, so like. But yeah, I was like, hey man, can I use those characters for my comics? And he said no.
Wow.
No surprise there, I guess.
I mean, because if he lets you do it, then like that doesn't secure the copyright, and that could be used legally.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, X-Men. Yeah, I don't know. Like, comics are kind of interesting because I think that I like them the most in terms of kind of like isolated stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as I've gotten older, that
You don't follow the arcs. You just like specific.
well, I like
stories.
the arcs. I
Uh-huh.
like the arcs, but when it turns into kind of, I feel like they don't leverage long-term storytelling quite as effectively as something like wrestling does.
Sure.
Like wrestling has retcons and such, and they get away with what they get away with.
It's more it's more transformative over a certain period over a period of time, versus where I feel like Marvel and DC, they like to reset a lot. And
Yeah, and I also think with wrestling that since a lot of the characters are kind of carried by a person, that there's sort of this like collaborative storytelling component that you don't get, because with comics it's like, oh, I'm the guy writing Captain America now, I'm gonna make him a Nazi, and it's not really motivated by like, I don't know, because with wrestling it's like the people are kind of making choices, you know what I mean? Like the individuals are kind of making choices, like the individuals who play those characters. So yeah, does that make sense?
yeah,
Does that make sense?
I think so.
It-
Like it's
Anybody in the chat agree with me? Huh? Anybody in the-
any wrestling heads in the chat.
I don't know. Cyrus is still. Oh, hey. I don't know if I should say who you are, because I don't know what you're.
Yeah,
Hello.
don't dox people, Austin.
I'm not going to. Yeah. Wrestlers also age, yes, and I think that it kind of motivates storytelling in like they're forced to leave, and also if they return in a way that's kind of motivated. I mean, sometimes it's stupid, sometimes it's just like, oh, why is this person back? But you also have the audience as sort of a way to shift that.
Right. It's
Which,
what you're getting at is like with comics, it's like in the way that I mean, I guess wrestlers also die too. In comics, heroes don't die. Like nobody ever dies.
Yeah.
And so there's no sense of that permanence or legacy that keeps a story feeling like it's going rather than just retelling itself.
I mean, have you read Beowulf?
No, just seen the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I haven't seen the movie, but I imagine it's probably similar. But I think that story, that's like the quintessential kind of hero story, and I think that one of the things I don't know how much you remember of it, and I don't even know how much is the same. But one of the things that I think is really striking about Beowulf is how, at the end, there isn't like a new generation that kind of like is the good new best generation. They all like run away. And I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if this is resonating with you, but basically he goes into this final showdown, right? And everybody kind of leaves him behind, but he stays to fight whatever it is. I don't even remember what it is, to be honest with you. But he stays to fight whatever it is, and it's just, and then he dies in battle. Sorry, spoilers for Beowulf. But the fact that the new people who would kind of take over the mantle, they don't stay around. They don't. There's just sort of a thing there where it ends, I guess, is my point. Like you don't have to. Isn't this erasing? Oh, because my eraser's too big. My eraser's too big. Yeah, it's sort of like having a story that has a reason to end.
Yeah.
Having a way for it to conclude, as opposed to him. I mean, even because like you have like cowboy stories where they go off into the sunset or whatever, and like that's a hero's ending. But I think there's something to be said about a hero also kind of losing.
Yeah, there's stakes. You need stakes.
And like death, like you mentioned, I think is a interesting component. Not just for like shock value or whatever, but also like be able to, it's like, oh, he wasn't able to do this last one.
Yeah,
he achieved a lot, but then this last one. One of my favorite matches in recent years was a retirement match of a wrestler I really like in Japan, and his physicality was not there anymore because he's
older. Yeah.
Let me look it up. I want to see how old he is now.
I remember you telling me about this match.
Yeah, and it's just like the thing about the match was so he's 62 now, so he's probably like 60 or almost 60 at the time. But let's get Beowulf too. Yeah, exactly. Like we need Beowulf 2 now. But yeah, the thing about the match was like the whole thing was just like he couldn't be a fighter anymore because he didn't have what was in him to keep going.
Sure.
And that was like the story of the match, and that isn't the kind of story that you would have in comics, because
the only time I actually got that was did you ever read was it Planet X or Universe X, where we see an older Peter. And he doesn't have his powers anymore, I think.
Cyrus knows what this is. Cyrus knows the name of this because Cyrus is the one who told me about it back in high school.
This comic run.
Yeah.
It was like Planet X or something. But basically, of course, Peter becomes a cop, but he doesn't have his powers anymore, and he kind of feels that age. And he's not as fit anymore, and so that kind of felt like something similar, where it's like, okay, our heroes actually do age. There are limits to them. They're not invulnerable. And you're right. I think a lot of comics just don't do that.
Yeah.
Because even the Dark Knight, this is going into DC territory, if that's not too sacrilegious.
That's fine.
Even the Dark Knight Returns, he was still he was still like a god. He was like he was still invulnerable. He was fine. Like Bruce Wayne wasn't dying or anything.
Batman Beyond does do interesting stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
With older
I don't
Bruce.
really remember it too well, but yeah, it is nice to have an older Bruce for sure. I just think it's I think there's a lot to be done with characters that can die and
yes.
Yeah. So shout out to Death.
Shout out to Death. And speaking of which, a great way to contemplate death is through music.
Is that ad break? We got an ad break? Oh, are we doing music? It's only been 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
No, well, no, we're not showing the preview yet. Just getting into.
Oh, you want to talk? You want to talk?
Yeah, talk
Okay,
talk
yeah,
a bit about music,
sure,
and so
sure. I
uh,
finished my Morbius.
no, oh, that is excellent. Look at that. He's got smoke coming out of his head. Where are his suckers?
They're on his hand.
Okay, I'm still drawing Gwen Stacy.
You gotta give me another one though. See, I told you.
You gotta draw
Yeah, give me
either.
another one.
Okay, I'll give you an option. You could either draw the Jared Leto version of Morbius.
No, you don't want to draw another Morbius. Give me something else.
All right, let's see you do Mysterio.
Oh, okay, cool.
What was I gonna say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Music.
So folks in the audience, for those who do or do not know, Austin here is of the Invisible Sundial, the group that developed the majority of the music you listen to here on the stream, including the intro and the music playing right now for this segment. And you know, I really felt like Austin's sound was perfect for kind of what I want to do with the show, which is kind of this, you know, the hiatus station stream is kind of this escape that I really try to give for myself. I have the space station theme, and there's this kind of like loneliness that I feel sometimes when I'm working on art that is cathartic, that you actually sometimes you do need to be, you know, alone and contemplative with your own thoughts. And a lot of music from your album One Seed, One Crown feels like it takes place on another planet. That's how I interpreted it. And there's always a lot of songs of like gosh, what does nebulous mean? I don't think it means what I think it means. What does nebulous mean?
It's kind of like formless, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. So there's a great like in One Seed, the song
Misty.
I like, the song I use for a lot of my the interstitials. It's very nebulous in that like it doesn't have a form, and the music moves. That's how, in the same way that you describe wrestling as like this evolving story, the music moves in that way. In that it doesn't have one particular rhythm or melody it has to stick to, and essentially it feels dynamic. So just a few things that I really appreciate from your style and music, but I that's me putting words in your mouth, and I'd like to hear you describe how you describe your music.
Gosh, I mean, one of the things that's tricky is a lot of. I mean, you've nailed a lot of it.
Okay, we're done. All right, well, Alison, thanks for we got our answers. No, sorry, go ahead.
That's it. You nailed it. You nailed it, and that's it. No, I think God, it's really difficult because part of I think nebulous is a good word for it, but I think a lot of it is also there's an ambiguity to it that's intentional. I do have a lot of direct meaning that I apply to what I make, and I do make a lot of like there are stories to be told within the stuff that I create, but I also don't like I don't feel that it can't be transformed in terms of like how other people feel about it when they listen to it.
Sure. Yeah, you can't control
so
it. Yeah.
I would never tell someone, you know, no, that's not what it is, you know, because it's just not.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to treat it that way, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, the idea, I guess, starting from the beginning, the idea was sort of that each kind of piece that I would write would be a fragment of time, so to speak. I also think of it kind of existing I mean, I could explain the idea of the invisible sundial, I guess, or at least try to. And I've probably told you this before, but we can talk through it.
Yeah.
Just in terms of it being kind of a document, or not a document, but like it's like something within you that reflects a moment in time, like when you hear a song.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you remember the song, you remember how you felt at the time, you remembered, what it, what it kind of, where you were and how you felt, and it takes you back, right? And there is kind of a sense of time travel that exists within music, and I think of it as sort of like a piece of time is kind of how each one, each sort of song is. And they go in different directions. Some are like back, some are forward, whatever. And yeah, that's kind of the key thing. Is just sort of like it's a measurement of time.
Yeah.
So it's a measurement of time, but it's used through sound, I guess.
How do you decide when you're working on a track what direction you're going? Whether forward or backwards, in terms of the time.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with the tools that I'm using. Sometimes when I have a new idea or there's something that I haven't really done before, or something that I want to explore, be it like a musical concept or maybe a technique or something like that. That's kind of forward thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This sort of ties into what I'm doing now. My newest thing that I'm working on is very reflective, and a lot of it is the past. Like a big portion of it, I would say, is the past.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that required me learning about stuff that used to resonate with me. Like when I was younger. And bless you. And
they can't hear me cough. You can, so you don't have to say that.
Well, I can still bless you.
I appreciate it.
What are you talking about? I want to make sure you're okay. You distracted me. Yeah, so a lot of that is exploring, sort of tapping into older things that used to inspire me, and seeing where those take me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that taking a piece of something, and it can be like a motif, it can be a musical concept from something.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a song that I feel like is representative, or a song that kind of represents that piece of time for me that I want to dictate, then
Mm-hmm.
I will sort of, I guess, interpolate something from that, and see where it takes me. And as you transform what you do, like being an artist, you're transforming whatever. Like you're always
Mm-hmm.
going to do something wrong, right? Like
Right.
you're not going to be perfect, and that's part of the.
That's where the art comes from. That's
creating.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So there is sort of the distillment of the thing, and the way that it's distilled through my errors creates that outcome.
Yeah. And so with the
in so many words.
Yeah. No, but so with the new album, you're saying it's more about looking back. Do you think I have this kind of you can feel differently about this, but I feel like when there's moments of crisis, we often like to revert back to certain comforts. I know I do. I think very fondly about, like, oh, life was much easier when I was a kid, this and that. I'll listen to music that I listened to back then. I'll play games, watch movies. There's this idea that when you are stressed out, you actually don't watch new movies. Like your mind doesn't want to take in something new. You actually watch something you've seen before, and actually rewatching shows or movies might actually be a sign of stress. This is me rewording very poorly where I got this from, but the idea being that you're incapable of taking in new media. So do you think any
I
of
have
that?
something really interesting. I have something really
Yeah, go for it.
interesting to say.
Go for it.
And well, I shouldn't say that because it's not that interesting. But you were saying this, and it's actually something that happened. And I don't know if this is like giving too much away in terms of how I was thinking about this album. But but the I saw a movie that really stuck with me, and I actually ended up writing a song because it inspired me. So one of the songs that's on this album is forward thinking because it's kind of drawing on this movie that I saw, and it's interesting because it was a brand new movie, but it really like just shook up a lot of the old feelings that I was trying to capture. So it had this sort of like duality in how it interacted with sort of my process, I guess.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
I'm breaking my rule a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm drawing from something new experience-wise, but I'm doing it in order to reach something.
Right.
But, time is an interesting thing.
Right.
And I think that time exists in a way that that kind of stuff's okay.
I mean,
like I would never try to limit myself, but it is interesting that I saw something new.
I don't think that, and I don't think that falls far from the concept you're trying to do, because and I also love that the theme of this segment being remembering just always comes back to that concept. It's sorry, the quick aside, but the idea that like when you need to remember something,
it's your show.
It's my show. I'll gear it to whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, you say whatever you want.
But what's a lot of remembering, like people use visual audio, smell cues to incite a memory, and essentially what you're doing here is this movie incited that feeling of going back, even though you just saw it recently. This is the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, it was the Minecraft movie.
That's really cool. I'm excited to see how that works. But yeah, so what do you think in regards to like why you're working on this kind of album? Why are you working in this framework for this album now? Does it have to do with like I was saying? Does it have to do with, this is a wild guess, but have to do with like current crisis, putting people in the state of I like how JD put it, nostalgia infused copium.
Wait, what?
In the comments, JD put nostalgia.
Oh wait,
John David.
Is the chat active?
Yes.
Oh, I can't see.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah. Also, hi Kasu.
I want to see the chat. Hold on. Well, yeah, keep talking.
But that's a great way to put it. Nostalgia infused copium is kind of the way I've dealt with like stresses of the current world and events. So my question being that you're trying to go back in time with this album. What incited that? Why now? Why is that the time to do that? Yeah.
Well, it's depressing. But okay. I'm trying to think about the best way to articulate it.
Is that all right?
Yeah. No. I was having a lot of trouble figuring out what I wanted to do next for the Invisible Sundial, and I was doing a lot of different things, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, I guess. So I was a little lost, and is this right? Hold on, I want to make sure I'm telling the story accurately. I have to.
Also, your Mysterio is looking pretty great.
I think it's pretty much done. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah. So Sakamoto is a composer. He passed away in March of 2023, which I guess that's actually when this all started, which is weird to think about. I knew it had been about 2 years that I was working on it, but he has a lot of he just had a really big influence on my approach to composition and my approach to music. And he's very, I want to like basically trying to tap in. He wrote for YMO. He did a lot of music soundtracks.
Oh.
He has solo.
Oh,
work.
I do know him. Yes, yes, yes.
He's great. He's great. Legends. Fantastic. But when he died, I started to like listen to his music and really think about how gentle. Like his last album is just like it's so sad because he's like near the end of his life.
Yeah,
he is aware of it, and that's just kind of part of the way that it is, and it's tough to listen to, but there's something about just how gentle he wrote and how gentle his music was towards the end of his life. And that's what started to make me think about sort of where you start in being an artist and where you go.
Yeah.
So I'm actually writing this is the first part. So there's actually a second thing that I'm also working on, which is actually sort of where I started, is this more gentle stuff. And as I was working on it, I realized that I had a lot of this more aggressive, or not aggressive, but more high energy stuff that I wanted to work on. So I kind of went backwards from there, and that's what landed me on where I am with this album. As time has gone on, a lot of, I feel like he was, he was one of the big ones, but just seeing a lot of the people who really, Angelo Badalamenti was slightly before that. He passed away at the end of 2022. Just seeing these people who have these just lives worth of music,
and we're influences to you.
Much. Yeah, and influences. I mean, even David Lynch, who isn't he did write music, but his influences are more like philosophical, I guess. But even then, just the amount of impact that he had, and this is all accumulation of a lot of different things. I mean, arguably, David Lynch was taken away due to global warming and the climate crisis, and because of the fires in LA and all that. So it's yes, that is correct.
Accumulation of like just all the fucky things in the world, and how it directly affected your personal influences, and like trying to
and the art that is
and then trying to like make sense of that. I think not exactly nostalgia infused copium, but it is essentially just reflecting on that. And then is it like safe to say like reflecting your own like place in your own mortality, like your own aging as an artist?
Oh, are you scared to tell me I'm gonna die? What's up? No, I mean that's a piece of it too. I think the other thing is just thinking about what I used to do, and what I do now. Just I guess a reflection on that, right? Like what kind of artist was I, and what kind of artist am I now?
Yeah.
My friend is a little unrelated, but my friend actually he sent me a thumb drive, and it's full of music from 2004, 2003.
Music you made, or?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And music that we had like done together. We collaborated online. And it was interesting listening back. I'm like, my voice is different. And I mean, my approach to everything is different. I mean, I didn't really know anything, but I had a certain kind of ethos, I guess, that has persisted. But one of the things too is not necessarily trying. I mean, like what JD said with the sort of copium thing. I think it's important to not fixate on that, and I don't intend to create this as a it's not
a
meant
crutch.
to be like,
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. No, it's just it's kind of a reflection. There's more to it too that I guess I I don't want to verbalize. It's kind of like I feel like it's cheap to it's cheap to do that. Just because I feel like the music kind of works in its own way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So maybe
That's my answer.
So maybe we transition to your preview, but before we do that, I'm wrapping
sure.
up my Gwen Stacy, my Mexican Gwen Stacy. Just a reminder, folks, this isn't what Austin thought he was gonna get, which was
it's
Mexican
perfect.
drawn Gwen Stacy. This is
Perfect.
Mexican
Wait,
Gwen
this
Stacy.
is Mexican drawn Gwen Stacy. What are you talking about?
Is it? Did I hit it on the nail? Do you think I?
Are you not Mexican?
Oh wait, you're right. It says Mexican drawn Gwen Stacy. You got me.
I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn.
You got
but
me. You got me. Wow. Gotten on my own show.
You thought you weren't doing Mexican Gwen Stacy.
I know.
Little did you realize?
So let's do
Very subversive. Very subversive.
let's do comparisons. So let me pull out do you want to do yours first? Let me pull in show us your
okay,
Morbius.
You pull up. Yeah, here I'll move to Morbius.
Okay, hold on.
I love the transition from talking about mortality to looking at this just like
Hold on.
hey, this actually does kind of look like it looks like Eraserhead a little bit. It looks like the guy from Eraserhead. See a Katsu.
Let me copy
Katsu
this.
Arts. Kasu. Sorry, I said Katsu. Katsu's the dog that lives behind me. But yeah, this Morbius actually kind of looks like Eraserhead a little bit. So if you could pull up Eraserhead.
All
A
right.
little bit of,
So we have.
deeping through before I even talk.
Let's take a look here. We got Morbius. I forget what his first name was.
Hey, wow! I actually
You got the
did pretty
color
good.
scheme. You got the color scheme pretty good.
I actually did pretty good.
Yeah. Let's pull up Eraserhead.
Yeah, let's pull up Eraserhead.
You can't escape your influences. That's the.
I guess not. I totally did. I wasn't even thinking about that, but it definitely has the look.
Look at that. Look, that's your drawing right there.
I know, it's so funny. It's so funny. Yes, perfect. That's what I drew.
All right, now let's see your Mysterio.
Okay. Now this is a
Which Mysterio is this?
This is Rey Mysterio.
Okay. So another influence of yours.
Yeah, please pull up a picture of Rey Mysterio. I don't know if I need to bring it down a little bit. There he is. He's about to do the 619.
Hold on. Also, Googling, I have to double check when I Google things because there could just be some AI generated results that I'm trying to avoid here.
Yeah, you better avoid.
There we go.
that.
Look at this guy. Austin, I think you're cheating. I think you're looking at reference.
That is not Rey Mysterio.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Who is
hold on.
that? Who is that?
You want junior or senior?
Junior. Wow, I'm trying to remember what Rey Mysterio Senior looks like. I'm gonna look it up. I'm cheating.
Here's a great photo. Hold on. Rey Mysterio is pretty Mysterio shaped because his neck kind of like morphs into his head a bit.
Oh, I forgot the cross necklace. I knew I was forgetting something.
Okay, now I'm gonna look up Mexican drawn
Yes.
Gwen Stacy.
Let's go. Thank you.
Oh wow, yeah, he draws her very cheeked up.
Well, I wasn't gonna tell you to do that because I know that you're.
So,
artist of... Oh yeah, Rey Mysterio as Mysterio. You should look that up too. But I know we moved on already. But
wait, is
good
that
call.
real? Hold on, we can do
Yeah,
it.
I think it's for a pay-per-view or something.
Oh my God, you're right. Hold on. Before we do my thing. Folks gotta know. You knew exactly what you were doing. Look at that.
Me? Let's see.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty good.
Wow, actually, yeah, I guess that is pretty similar. Yeah,
That's
funny.
pretty dope. He put the eyes on his crotch though. You see that?
You have a problem with that?
I don't know. I don't know if I do.
You take issue with that?
All right, and then we have Mexican drawn Gwen Stacy, which
hear.
there's a lot of fan art, and you can imagine what it's fan art.
Well, we
of.
don't want the fan art. We want the
So,
authentic.
can you give us the history lesson again for folks who?
Again?
Yeah.
I already said it.
So there's the fairly kicked up Gwen Stacy. Wait, so what's the original cover
you're
like?
pretty close.
Who actually drew Gwen Stacy before? Like in the U.S.
Ditko maybe? I don't actually know. I don't actually remember, to be honest.
Because she does not look like this.
But see, I was saying, is she? Oh yeah, she is blonde. Okay, I was saying, is she even blonde? Because I was trying to remember. Oh, the green coat. Right, she always has the green coat.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
It's okay for me to look, right? Like
Yeah, you can look now.
Okay.
So
Okay, yeah, Ditko. Actually, wow. Yeah, it was Ditko.
I really like I like my Mexican Gwen Stacy design. Obviously, I drew her from the wrong angle. If you were trying to get me to draw it like the other guy. What's the artist name, Austin? To tell the chat.
Ditko did the original.
No, for the what you
Mexican Gwen Stacy.
the history is that there was a Mexican run of Spider-Man
Yes.
that was drawn by.
Why don't you show? We could show more than that cover. Like, there's more art than just.
That's the
that.
only thing that shows up when I look up Mexican Gwen
No,
Stacy.
come on. No, there's also there's all kinds. There's all kinds. You're selling here. I don't know if it's helpful for me to share it with you.
Yeah. Can you bring it onto your?
Yep. No, I'll just put it in the general chat if that works for you.
No, I can't tab out of the Discord. We'll take your word
No,
for
it's in
it.
Discord. It's in Discord. It's in Discord.
But I can't pop out of there.
Okay.
Anyways,
Hold on. I can put the image in the chat. How about that? Huh? Does that work?
I don't know if that'll work.
Yeah, why not?
But no,
There
do you remember the name of the artist, Austin?
There you
I'm
go.
trying to look him up.
Everybody- You know, I did know it. I did know it, and it's a shame that
His
I don't.
name was.
I remember
Let's see.
looking
In
at
the
his,
70s, Marvel let a Mexican publisher put out original Spider-Man comics, and the first thing artist José Luis González Duran did was give Gwen Stacy a ridiculously big butt. It's amazing that what we can accomplish when we as a nation work together. This is Reddit.
I see
That's
the
all.
same
That's a
tweet.
Reddit
I
title.
see the same tweet that you're looking at, and you are not reading it.
I am not. I am being a little more polite.
Yes, understood.
José Luis Duran is the name of the artist.
Well, so the thing he did a cover that had Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker getting married.
Yes.
And that was like the big that was like the crazy one.
Because
And
that
people were like,
that didn't happen.
Whoa.
That didn't happen in the U.S. canon, did it?
No. it
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah. And the thing is that the story. Yeah, there you go. The story changed a lot. You know, because they're just doing whatever, and you know, in a way, this is the good ending.
Yeah. Right.
Because she doesn't get
She lives. Yeah.
blanked by blank. You
Yeah.
know. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I will say that this comic, though, they don't actually get married. It's just a dream.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see. Classic Red
Yeah,
comic.
and people are spending those comics are like $100 on eBay, and people you know are shelling out money to find out, and it's just a ruse. So
Well,
don't go buying. I don't want to try to say the name, but don't go buying that Spider-Man because you're not going to get.
don't
what
go
you're-
buying El Sobre. Actually, can you read this for me, Austin?
I can say Hombre Araña, but Sorprendente?
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Sorprendente?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, Sorprendente, Hombre Araña, number 1, 2,
You know your numbers in Spanish.
uno, dos, ocho.
There you go. Folks, we're going to take a quick break before we do the second part of our show. We're actually going to
do. Yeah, go.
we're going to do do you want to send us off into it?
I can intro.
Go,
sure.
go, intro it.
We're gonna show you. There's gonna be 3 clips. I don't know what's being shown. Josue put something together. Could be anything, but it is 3 segments of 3 songs from my next album, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything
World-
else you need to know about it?
What's
It's
the
music.
what's the
It's
title?
music.
What's the working title of the album?
Oh yeah, it's Day of Brawn is the name of the first of 2, and the second one we will talk more about in probably 2 or 3 years.
So, world premiere teaser of Day of Brawn.
Yes, 3 tracks, pieces of 3 tracks from said album.
All right, courtesy of Austin Amberg. All right, here we go.
The Invisible Sundial. The Invisible Sundial.
The Invisible Sundial. Here we go. All right, folks. What did we think of that world premiere? Day of Brawn. 3 tracks,
World-
3 sample tracks.
World 3 samples of tracks. Yes.
Dude, that was awesome. It's so different, I'd say, from all the stuff you put out so far. I'm excited for how dancey a lot of these songs are. It's actually kind of interesting that like you, again, all the shitty things that are happening right now in the world, a lot of your influences dying, but the output has been positive. At least in the samples, there's been like it's almost like an inversion of what I would expect of what somebody's coming out of in these really much harder times. And I think there's usually a pendulum swing of these things. Like they say, what was it when a Democrat is in office, or when Obama was in office, there was like an influx of zombie movies because people felt like there was less problems in the United States. And then whenever there's a Republican in office, there's often feel-good movies to kind of offset tensions. This is me being biased, but there is a little bit of a trend. But
well, I will say, as someone who's heard my stuff, I'm sure you know that there will be twists and turns along the way.
Yeah.
Just because that's just how I write.
That's just how you roll.
Don't worry.
That's how you
There
roll.
will be some, depressing moments. There'll be some moments of uncertainty. There
Right.
will be some, mystery and intrigue.
Yeah.
It's not.
You're gonna take us on an adventure.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It is very different, and it was hard to like, I had the idea and kind of pushing through it. It was a little intimidating just because it is so different. But I think it's coming. Like, I've just kind of got over that and was able to push through it. But it did take a while to really feel like the joy of what it was, because like I said, I started from number 2. Like, I started with this sort of second idea. It wasn't the second idea at first, but then I realized that I needed to kind of do this first before I could do what I wanted to do next. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
That makes
sense?
perfect sense. Chat, can we get some applause or so? I don't know how Discord works, but can we get some applause?
Someone said I'm vibing, and we got a wow. So
That's
pretty
great.
nice. But thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you for letting me play that on my show. I know we
Yeah, you got the world premiere.
Little-
You got the
little-
exclusive world premiere.
a little behind the scenes. We actually weren't sure if we were gonna have any music to share. Not that because Austin was lazy or anything, but just because you care about the craft of your work.
Yeah.
You also, I don't know how this works exactly, but you're saying it had to be trademarked first? How does that?
Yeah. Well, I think with the clips it'll be fine. But there's just there's some weird stuff.
Does it happen like if I ran it on my show, you're worried that somebody else could take it, sample it, right?
No, it should be fine. I mean, yeah. There's just, it's also automated now that it can be
Right.
yeah,
On
it's a
YouTube or maybe even Twitch, it would recognize if your music was used, correct?
Yeah. Like there's a lot of, I don't know. It's just it's a very strange time for creating stuff.
Yeah, for 100%.
Machines are smart. Yeah.
We can get into that topic because I did want to talk a little bit about your feelings about the state of art, especially in this very post-capitalist hellscape that we're finding ourselves in. But first,
But you got to give me a new character.
I do. We do. We got to do something fun first.
Yeah. Before we talk about the state of the world, let's do a new character.
So we're moving on.
I got to think of something.
Yeah. Well, we both have to because we're here in our.
I have to think of something to give you.
No. We both because we're working on the second part of our segment, which is the recall.
Okay.
The redraw, where we both actually choose the same prompt, and we try to design.
Oh,
What?
no.
What? You don't think you're a capable artist?
No, let's go. Let's go.
I'm
Drawing.
So let's pick someone. Let's pick someone that we're both gonna redesign in our own way.
Okay.
Did you want to do a Spider-Man? We can do Ben Riley.
We don't have to do Ben Riley.
We can do Madam Web.
Yeah, we could do Madam Web. I mean, who's your favorite Spider-Man villain?
Oh, it was Mysterio. Mysterio is my favorite.
Okay, who's your second favorite?
I like various incarnations of Vulture. I didn't really like him when he's like when they make him like a sickly bird.
Mexican Vulture actually looks pretty awesome. There's a cover with Mexican Vulture. That's really cool.
Like the same artist, or he's a Mexican Vulture?
Yeah, same artist, same
interesting.
artist, same artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Vulture when he's more like I really liked the what was it, the Tom Holland movies. What's his name?
Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy.
No.
Venom? You like Tom Hardy as Venom?
Batman. What's his name? Michael Keaton did a fantastic Vulture.
Ben Affleck.
I do like Ben Affleck as Batman. Controversial opinion.
No, I don't think. I think anybody with any sense sees what was going on there and understands that it was a moment in something that was otherwise pretty dismal. Too bad that didn't work out, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to like Rhino. I used to be a big Rhino head.
Okay, Rhino. I'm trying to think of somebody who'd be fun to like. Well, I'm sure anybody you could. Kind of
here's one thing I'll ask you. No.
Yeah, go.
Since you know more, give us a deep cut villain that will be hard for us to remember how to draw. I think those are usually pretty fun.
Villain?
Yeah. Oh, actually, technically, no, I'm wrong. In this segment, we do get reference. So maybe it doesn't matter.
We're trying to make a new design.
Right. So maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I feel like you should pick somebody.
Let's do.
Because yeah.
Let's do.
I saw someone earlier say that we should draw Ned. You want to do a redesign of Ned?
No.
Why not?
Ned's just a dude.
Okay, what? You don't think you can make Ned cool? You don't think you can give Ned some? Okay.
Ned's just a dude.
I think that's cool.
Gosh, I feel like I want to. Here's the thing. There was a redesign of. Did you see the new animated Spider-Man cartoon? No, it's really good.
Okay.
But I did not like how there was these symbiotes, and they made them look too much like tarantulas, which I mean it was a new take for sure. But I didn't like it. I like Venom. Venom's a really good villain. He's just too simple. Can we create a Venom that feels a little more? Do you think we can redesign Venom?
Sure.
Okay.
We did get a recommendation for Aunt May, but she might be a little hard.
Let's do Venom.
Okay, let's do Venom.
So speaking about the venomous nature of.
Oh wait, so should I pull up a picture of Venom?
Oh, sorry. Actually, I have to put the reference on. So speaking about the
Are we using the same? We can use the same reference.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Art is feeling pretty venomous right now, wouldn't you say? Isn't that a good transition?
Great transition. I can tell that you're a pro. That you've been doing this.
Thank you. I've been working.
You haven't missed a step. You know, you had your honeymoon. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you're back at it.
Back at it.
We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Yeah, no, it's venomous. Yeah.
What
you want to talk Venom?
Yeah, I'll talk Venom. I'm gonna
give me your best Venom voice.
No, I'm not doing that. This isn't Buff's Twitch stream. We don't do things like that. I'll spit.
Hey, I
I'll,
wish he was here. He would have a blast with this one, but
I'll spit some venom, and also I put our venom up here. I'm upset. Like I think there's a genuine part where I'm not just trying to be tough and be like, oh, like
we're talking about art, right?
yes. I'm not trying to be.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say like, oh, AI can't draw hands or spaghetti. Like that's a redundant conversation. Like this technology. Hold on, I gotta reset the music. This technology is just gonna get better and better. Your backing track is playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a different song for this part?
Not for this part. It just needs to loop. We've already gone over an hour. Of music.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm beyond the like the smaller conversations about like this shit's here. It's getting better. It sucks. The part that I'm really like I'm upset, saddened by, depressed by, is kind of like how little like the little respect art already has now or has had, and just the more diminishing appreciation, literacy, art literacy. Like we're finding that folks are just really okay with the bare minimum. And for one thing, it does help really great art stand out. Like it helps great art. It still stands out. When I watched Sinners, like I had a really great moment in one of the sequences in the movie where they're showing
no
like
spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
But I had a really like inspiring moment where I was like, okay, great art still stands out now. But here's the thing: is like we're talking about capitalism and about how you don't see many comic books or the comic book industry really doing well in the United States because the money's not really being put there. If it's not an IP, if it's not selling toys, if it's not selling merch, they're not going to put money there. In France and in Japan, the manga and the bande dessinée industry, it's self-supporting. I talked to a few artists in France. They say that it's still taking a hit, but it's still its own industry, and I think it's a little sad to see that there's more support of the arts outside of the U.S. and I feel like we are losing a battle for kind of inspiration, for keeping people inspired to think more creatively, to want to aspire to do more things. I feel like we've just kind of been reduced to just kind of filler, like content filler, or like instant gratification. It just feels it feels dismal, and I want to be honest with it because I often try to give You'll
be honest with me, you say?
Yeah, not just with you, but like I want to be honest with people that like it's like it the environment sucks, and I think I just wanted to vent. What?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's rough, and I think it's multifaceted. Like we're having. I think there's the desire, like what the desire is, or what the. There's a reason. There's a reason that art has kind of entered this position. I think it's very easy to fall into kind of a loop, it's all kind of designed to be that way, and I don't think that people quite realize that piece of it, right? Where you really have to be intentional in order to really enjoy stuff, and I think people are actually the thing that's kind of scary to me is how people are like losing the ability. Like that's the thing that's scary to me. Like there's people who like don't know how to. I mean, this is probably like what you were saying about literacy. Like there are people who just don't know how to enjoy arts.
Yeah.
And like don't know how to. They don't know how to like. I want to say consume, but consume is kind of. It's not like
Sure.
the word I want. It's just that.
It's appreciate. It's appreciate.
But not just yeah, I guess appreciate's a good way, but also like engage in a meaningful way. And I think that part of the issue is that we're not given. We're in a space where the things that we consume day to day are not designed to be enjoyed and whatever, or to be thought about in a deeper level.
Yeah.
It's very. I was watching this video about this guy who does YouTube videos for music stuff, and he was saying how like try to think about what you even saw when you were looking through Instagram. Like
Yeah.
you try to remember,
Reflect
what it was,
on it. Like right.
Like a lot of it is just like not there, right? Because it's nothing. A lot of it's nothing. I mean, I could tell you because it's all my algorithm is ridiculous, but it's just it's not meant to be. There's no sort of like long-term kind of engagement or not engagement in the. And again, that's another thing is I think maybe some of the language has been kind of co-opted too, where it's just like, it's hard to even talk about it because you're talking about it as if it's a product. Like everything needs to be this like consumable.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah. Which I when I'm working on stuff. I think a lot about like the physical format and I want to release this on CD. Like I'm gonna have CDs made for it and stuff, and I don't expect people to necessarily listen to it that way. But I like the idea of kind of writing for a format because I think that writing for a format or at least trying to create something within a it's not a limitation necessarily, but within a kind of framework, I guess. Like
there's more focus on the craft, and it's just as important of a piece of the art, and that makes sense. And here's the thing: it's like people who are people who are fans of your music or fans of like analog formats, like those are the people that are in those niches that appreciate that craft, right? But you want to be able to open your work and your music to audience outside of those bubbles or those niches, and that's so much harder. And not only because now with the internet everyone's competing for that same spotlight, but that spotlight is now like 5 to 10 to 15 seconds. And to condense your story or what value you're trying to present to somebody in that time and space, it's I'm not gonna say it's nearly impossible because people make do with it, but it's just like it's that you'd want to teach your audience to like sit with the work. And one of the things I was telling Catherine earlier today, because we were talking about how like, all right, I'm focusing on art full time, and part of that is I do have to play the social content creation game, because if I'm trying to promote a book, I have to have that audience, and I dread creating content, and I struggle I'm still trying to figure out a way to create content that I would actually be happy doing. But what I told Catherine was one of the main reasons that I became so disillusioned with my job as of late, besides the AI stuff, it was that we were creating ephemera. We were essentially creating these videos about some product feature on LinkedIn. And it would go up for a day or for a week, or maybe not at all. And we had spent like 3 months, 4 months of I spent 5 months of my life animating a piece like that, and its impact is instantly swept away. And what I told Catherine was what I really want and what I feel like I get with comics is that there's more passive, again, co-opting the word back, engagement. There's more passive interest as people read a comic, they carry the message and they respond saying, "Hey, this resonated with me," and even if it's a comic I posted 4 or 5 years ago, somebody will stumble across it and say, "Oh, this resonates with me," and that's kind of what I want more out of my work, is to break out of the ephemera, to break it out of like, oh, you're just adding more junk into the internet. And that's kind of my problem with creating content, like video content, is that like sometimes you're just repeating what everyone else has already said, and what are
Plus
you
you're,
even
like,
contributing?
and you're like trying to play this like game that is not like, it's just sort of the content game, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think even with like I think this idea for a stream is really cool because it works in terms of showing the craft, showing what you're drawing. You get you have two of the best artists in the industry right here, working their magic, and I think that having that as a format is great because it's about the it's about the craft itself. It's showing the craft. It's showing how you create, showing the process, and that's valuable stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's
because a lot of us do this for
people can
that. That's a lot of the motivating force behind a lot of us doing the art is we like the process. It's not just the finished product. I mean, that's always nice, but we wouldn't be doing this if we hated the process of doing it.
Yeah. I think there are definitely things that are painful about it.
Sure.
And I think that's part of what I mean, that's with anything, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that goes with kind of creation, right? Like it's hard to do things that take time.
Yes.
When you don't have a lot of it.
Yeah. And that's a great point. If you don't mind me kind of bouncing off that real quick. So
it's your show.
It's my show. So I have the great benefit that like Catherine works a great job. She can support the both of us, and she's been a big support in me returning
Shout out to Catherine.
art. Shout out to Catherine, my beautiful wife. And I've been doing a little more writing lately, a little more journaling, and I'll start to jot down, I'll start to jot down my thoughts in order to make short diary comics out of them. And one of the ideas I was writing down was the privilege of like having my wife support me, and then I stopped myself because it's hard to when I'm writing for an audience, I want them to take away something like an emotion I'm trying to express, or maybe a piece of advice, something that they can empathize with. But the thing is, not everyone has a spouse that can support them, and a lot of the majority of artists are struggling through this alone. And I feel like to write about my experience is really not gonna contribute anything that helps anyone who's reading it or whatnot. But basically, what I'm getting at is, I realized that when I was working full time at LinkedIn, I realized I was not working as much on my art. I wasn't getting checked up like at the with my doctor. Like, I was pushing back like dentist work. I was pushing back getting my license renewed. There's a lot of my life like stuff about like transitioning, like a lot of the stuff in my life that were going to be positives, that were going to work towards myself. I pushed because I had to finish my work, my job. And it's insane that like that's how we have to live, that like you push aside the things that are important to you or important to your health for the job, and that's just no. That's I mean, people are suffering quietly.
And you need the job in order to do the
right.
to do the thing.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like I don't like like first couple days without we got back from the honeymoon. First days off of like not having a job anymore. I took care of my license stuff in one day. I'm gonna set up my doctor's appointments and all that stuff. It's just like there's just no capacity to live, and let alone create in this day, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I took time off in order to finish up what I was doing, you know, and kind of needed to do that in order to really have that like focus time, you know, where I'm actually able to you know, really think about what I'm doing. It made great strides, and it's like, wow, I feel so fulfilled.
Yeah.
Shout out to John David for making me realize that that's the word I was looking for.
Fulfilled. Look at that.
Like, yeah, just like working and feeling, just feeling fulfilled. And it's like, wow, imagine feeling this way all the time.
Right.
That'd be nice. But again, it goes to what you're saying, where when you have to kind of, you're engaging in things in a way where you have to kind of work in a certain way with your art, right? Like, obviously you want to be as free as you can, but there's always going to be concessions
right
when you're trying to do it, which is something that I'm thankfully able, like the fact that it's not my job, even though it's the thing that like work wise is, you know, the most important thing to me. It's like there's sort of a it's like there's two ways to go, and both ways aren't necessarily ideal, right? Like they don't necessarily get you where you're happiest.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I was describing. Hold on one second. I was describing to I met up with an artist friend in Strasbourg in France. I met quite a few cartoonists, but his name was Guy Pradel, and we had a lot of great discussions about the state of art. But one thing we were talking about, how in the same way that you took some time off work to focus on your art, I talked about how during the pandemic, when they handed out the stimulus checks and there was better unemployment benefits, that created, at least in the comics industry, but I'm pretty sure fairly widely, that created a boom in supporting artists. That's around the time when I got back into comics. My buddy Vince and Sam, they all started getting into comics around that time. Like when people got stimulus checks and they were able to take time off work, you saw an influx of cartoonists coming out of the pandemic, and people working on their books finally during the pandemic.
Yes.
Well, what's so fun? You think the pandemic's funny?
I don't need to get into it. It's okay. Not here. Keep going.
Did you say pandemic?
No, that's not. Don't mislead the people, okay?
So what I'm getting at is that when you see that me and Guy, we joked about it, that the pandemic was the biggest patron of the arts in the most modern century, like the latest couple 50 years, and it sucks. It sucks that that's the state of art funding. Is that like?
I mean, that's why they were so eager to get out of it, right?
Right. People were being happy. They were living their dreams.
I mean, yes, and but like that is. I guess I want to highlight that point. Like, I think that all that we're talking about, we got a glimpse of kind of how it could be,
right,
or a different way,
right,
and the reason that it's not that way, you know, it's a hard thing to reconcile. You know, it's a hard thing to reconcile that they were so eager to get us back to business as usual, no pun intended, that we kind of, you know, we ended up where we ended up.
Yeah.
Don't need to go into detail, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So it's a very frustrating state of affairs, and not, you know, of course, not just art. Like sometimes I even have to tell myself there's more things to comics. There's more things in the world than comics, and so folks are frustrated. People are taken to the streets, rightfully so. Like this is like what else was the government gonna expect as a result of just driving people into just a life where you can't be fulfilled.
Yeah. I need a new character.
You're not done drawing Venom.
I did Venom. This is Venom.
Where's Venom's tongue?
Oh, good point. All right. Yeah, I could do that. There's no tongue in the picture, but I forgot about the tongue. That's very important.
I will also put a tongue in mine.
We gotta have a tongue. You
gotta have a tongue.
You gotta have a tongue. It's a good Venom. I like your Venom.
Thank you. You know what? What vision came to mind with this one? An orca whale.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Actually, you know what? Let's give a Venom a fin.
Yeah.
Kind of like a street shark thing going on.
Yeah, do it.
Your Venom is like everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm trying to do like this is like a
hive mind.
Venom.
There is an Eldritch Venom, isn't there?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Isn't that what that whole like Null storyline is?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. I wasn't really thinking that. It's not really Eldritch. It's just like I like to. It's again the formless thing, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of fun to get formless with it, you know.
What is JD says? Austin Venom needs a stem and a candle inside. Hey.
Oh, like a little pumpkin.
This ain't no jack-o'-lantern.
It's an Eddie O-lantern.
Let's draw Eddie.
Like Eddie Brock, huh? Like Eddie Brock.
Draw Eddie in your Venom.
Okay. I don't have any space. Like under him or something.
It's up. You're the artist.
I'm out of space. Yeah, you're right. I'm the artist. Okay. Yeah.
They can't take that away from you. They're trying. They're trying.
Real hard.
The greatest trick the devil pulled was making us believe we had to pay $20 a month to Imagine.
That's pretty good. You think of that?
Yeah.
You thought of that?
Yeah.
You gonna put that in your comic? What are you working on? I'm sure you plug it all the time, but what are you working on?
I mentioned at the top of the stream that there's 3 things I need to focus on now that I'm working on art full time. Excuse me. The first of which is working on some book pitches so that I can start to fish for an agent and try to work on my own stories now. And then the other thing is working on Strikeout with famous comic book writer and artist Gang Fight. And then trying to figure out how to make content, like make things that like I actually care about putting out in the world, so that I can actually start building a following, and that might just be in the form of the diary comics. So the stuff that I write. I interviewed my dad this weekend about how our family even like had the privilege of being established in the U.S. There's a lot of fun stories there, just about how my grandfather essentially crossed the border with his older brother. So my grandfather was 16, and they were separated during a raid. And so my grandfather just started following a railroad track where he found other men trying to head into the United States, and then they were caught. And then my grandfather found his brother in the holding cell that they were all being put in. So that's how they found each other. And
Brothers.
so there's I want to illustrate that story.
Yeah, that's a nice story.
Yeah. So I've been doing more journaling, and I think that's where I'm gonna start pulling a lot of comics that a lot of shorts I want to make. So
Yeah, I like shorts.
yeah, they're good for the summer. Gets hot.
I mean, it kind of goes with what I was saying earlier about having like stories that kind of end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. My favorite thing to say when people say I'm excited to see that is like, yeah, me too. I'm excited to see it come to life. You know.
Good. You should be. You should be.
Yeah, I'm hoping to use these Venom drawings to get a job at Marvel.
I'm gonna email this to Stan Lee. I'm gonna be like, look at this, Stan Lee.
What are you gonna-
I couldn't do it?
What
You
are-
thought I couldn't do it?
What are you gonna do about it now, Stan?
You can't stop me. Yeah, that's funny.
Did you ever watch his show? I Want to Be a Superhero.
No, I didn't.
No, it was like on the Sci-Fi Channel. And people
You know what else was on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Scare Tactics.
Chucky. Very good.
The original?
No, there's a TV show.
Oh, there's a TV. Oh, I've heard of this. It's where Chucky's an ally.
I just got a message from someone who said that my Venom was good without a tongue. They said, drop by the stream for a bit. Your Venom was good without a tongue. Yeah. No. It's a really good show.
Okay.
I really liked it. Yeah. Are you good with dolls? You okay with
Catherine
dolls?
is not. Okay, that's literally the one thing that she cannot
I know
deal
some
with
people
horror. Yeah.
got trouble with the dolls.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good show, but
Yeah. She was a babysitter when she was like 3 years old. Put the movie on, and it
the movie?
the movie. Yeah.
Do you remember?
What movie?
Child's Play.
Oh, Child's Play.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. I liked Chucky growing up. That was cool.
Well, the show is really good. It's hard to.
Is it more
hard to
comedic
illustrate why
than like creepy?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely funny. It has its creepy moments, but it's got a lot of heart. It has the main character is gay,
Mhm.
and I don't know if you knew this, but the creator of Chucky is gay.
No.
So he was able to kind of tell stories that.
Oh, is the original creator a part of this?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he's the showrunner, I think. Yeah. So the original writer is part of it, and he's able to tell some stories. So it's kind of like a teen drama, but with Chucky.
That's cool.
So yeah, no, it's highly recommend it to anybody who is not scared of dolls.
Are we gonna watch Megan 2?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes out next month.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm down. Since you can't watch it with
With my wife. Did you end up seeing The Monkey?
No, I
Oh
want
man,
to though.
it's on demand now. It's fantastic. I actually I got Catherine to watch it. She like again it's doll adjacent, but
Yeah.
she loved it because it was funny. It was a really
The monkey?
fun yeah, the monkey. The horror movie, not the Dev Patel movie.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I was saying the monkey, like
Da Vinci.
Yeah. The monkey. That was my little joke there. I'm actually really enjoying this Eddie Brock that I'm drawing.
Cool. I'm happy you're enjoying drawing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really, like I've said already, I'm not really an artist, but
I think you've proven.
when I
you've
start
proven
drawing,
to us, yeah.
I have fun. I have fun. And yeah, I think once I learned a little bit about like layers and stuff. I don't know if Tall Snoopy is still here, but Tall Snoopy taught me a lot about layers.
Yeah, layers is what we call it
helped me.
in the biz. Yeah.
Is it called something else?
No, we call it layers.
What is that? An insider? Are you making fun of me in front of all your cool art friends?
This guy calls them layers.
Ah. Anyway, gosh, I'm getting annihilated over here. Yeah, you helped me because I wanted to color something, and you kind of gave me some tips on how to. I think I asked you how you did. I don't know how identifying you want me to be, but I asked you how you approached coloring a comic that you did. So, and that's when you told me, and that's how I found out about it. So thanks.
Tall Snoopy, without identifying you, you want to come on one of these streams sometime?
Flotillion.
Tall Snoopy is a Flotillion fame. And if you're looking for a great werewolf interactive story, boy, do I got one for you. If you like werewolves and cowboys. Cool. We can set.
Osway forgot about part of that.
Yeah, you said we could identify you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's. There's 2 more people on the docket already. Next week we're gonna have my buddy Kasu back on for round 2, and then after that, the week after, my lovely friend Pseudonym Jones. If you look on Blue Sky, she's a fantastic cartoonist. She's gonna be on, and then yeah, Tall Snoopy. If you wanna, we can book you in next month. I think
do it.
Yeah, I think even having a more open schedule now, I'm still gonna just keep streaming only once a week. I think that's the best because I'm not monetizing this anymore.
Good. I mean, the thing is, it's fine. You do it because you need, you want to have money for stuff, and you do what you can and all that. But I think there's some flexibility in. Yeah, good job, Josue. Good job on the shark frog venom. It's good. It's good. I think the thing is that like when you're trying to get people into your art, I think it's okay to have stuff that's easier to get to because, gosh, it's so miserable to try to go on a Twitch stream when it has like ads and stuff.
Yes.
And
yes.
To be fair, like obviously you want people to go to your art and buy your stuff.
Yeah.
But like, if they're not gonna like sit there and hang out with you, they're not gonna want to buy your stuff.
But also, I can run my own ads. Like in the interstitials,
Yeah.
I'm planning on just having a little animation that plays about my comics that are for sale.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think people would appreciate that better.
Yeah, as opposed to like military stuff.
Yes, that's the one thing that freaking like really like. Well, one thing was like it was part of the BDS boycott that I got rid of my partnership, but it was just also like the
You got
advertisement.
divorced?
No, but it was also the military ads that were running in front of my stream that I was like, this is not okay.
Do you remember?
Yeah. So true. Okay, I drew Eddie.
You gotta draw Carnage.
Oh my gosh.
We're almost done here. I'm almost done torturing you.
I don't have enough room. Like, I'd have to start a new page, which I could do. You want me to do a new page?
Carnage is Venom's buddy.
You want me to do a Carnage?
Carnage?
I could do a Carnage.
Carnage is Venom's buddy. Put him next to Venom.
You want me to sit? No. Look at this whole. Look at this. Look how big Venom is.
Yeah, Carnage is small. That's how you differentiate them.
Maybe I can draw here. I'll draw Carnage. I'll draw Carnage here. Okay, I will draw. I'll draw a small.
Can you do a Carnage impersonation?
What does he sound like?
No. Sounds like a symbiote. There you go.
I'm here to eat people and be angry.
Like that.
Well, Venom was like a murderer.
No, Venom.
Not Venom. Sorry,
He was a-
Carnage.
Venom was a journalist.
Carnage was a murderer.
Yeah, he was a murderer.
His name was Cassius Clay, famous boxer. No, what was his name? Cassidy? Cletus Cassidy?
Yeah, I think that's right. Something like that. This is a great Carnage. I'm nailing it. I'm nailing it right now. Get ready. Get ready for the world's most.
Yeah, he's kind of
There's
like
gonna be
a.
so much.
He looks like a bunch of red vines.
Yeah. Do a Woody Harrelson. I don't know if I could do a Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson is like. No, it's
Woody
just
Harrelson.
it's gonna sound like Matthew McConaughey.
Do Werner Herzog as Carnage.
Oh gosh, I could do it. Oh, is this gonna come out? Hold on.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let me bite you in the head.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good.
I am from a very distant planet.
Yeah, perfect.
We are Venom.
No, I said Carnage.
Oh, my bad.
Carnage. Come
I'm
on.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Wow, you had it up until then.
I had it.
It was
I had
all.
it.
It was all there. And
There's
then-
a reason I don't do impersonations live in front of the internet. It's just not. It's the cringiest thing that I do.
Well, I think people have fun with it, and then they forget about it and move on.
You're right. It's my Twitch stream. All right. Here's my Christopher
Yeah.
Walken.
Do Christopher Walken. Do Christopher Walken as Peter Parker.
I already did a voice. You do the next one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Ask me to do one. Go ahead.
Let's
ask me to
do. Let's
one.
see. John Travolta as the Green Goblin.
Okay. Hey, it's me, Norman Osborn. I'm the Green Goblin. I own a company. What do you think?
That's not John Travolta.
No?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure that's not John Travolta.
Yeah, it's me. Come on.
It's you?
I'm not good at impressions.
Couldn't be. Whoa, that Carnage is coming out pretty nice. You got the red vines down.
Thank you. Getting close here.
Yeah, same here. Just coloring in Venom.
It's nice to see your crew here. Thanks for letting me yap about my business in front of your people.
No, I mean you drew in most of this crowd here.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
These are your fans.
You're platforming me here. You know, you're platforming me. You're giving me a place to talk about my radical ideology of wanting to make music.
Wanting to make things people can love. Is that so bad?
Yeah. Red Ranger. Oh, let me. You're missing the back. Zoom it out a little bit. Give the fans what they're looking for.
Oh, I
No.
love Carnage's iconic big blue eye.
We're doing redraw. Don't make me draw a dong. Come on. Your chat's really.
My chat, you brought this elk here.
This is your chat. This is your stream. This is your stream. This is your.
Excuse me. Gosh, usually I'd mute that, but I was busy coloring.
Yeah. No problem. That's the first time I've heard you cough all night.
Yeah,
So-
I've not been coughing off mic.
Okay. Yeah, now we know you cough. How embarrassing.
Pay no attention to the non-binary person behind the curtain.
Behind what?
The curtain.
Oh, the curtain.
The non-binary curtain. Happy Pride, Austin.
Oh, is that why you had me on? How thoughtful. I thought the pressure was on earlier. Now you're gonna put all this on me. Thank you, tall Snoopy. Hmm. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm
Are you thinking?
I'm
thinking hard?
I'm coloring in this here Venom.
Yeah.
I'm really liking the.
Do you do anything with these? I can send this to you.
Yes,
don't
I
know.
share I make it all into one document.
Okay.
So send me all your
Yeah, I
drawings.
Yeah, it's just one big image. But
Image Comics.
yeah.
I love Image Comics.
Do you?
I do.
How about Dark Horse?
Oh, I love Dark Horse.
What's your favorite Dark Horse comic?
Hellboy.
Oh yeah.
Hellboy.
was Dark Horse?
Yes, and The Goon was a really good one. Did you ever read that one? It's really cool because it's like campy, like 1940s like horror, like the kind of giant tarantula style, like kitschy horror.
Like EC Comics style?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But it's like a fun like adventure. It's super well done, well drawn. Yeah, I can lend you some books anytime you want to check them out.
Yeah, sure. It's been a while since I've seen you in real life, huh?
It has. I drove right. I bussed right by
I
you
know, dude.
twice.
Yeah. Wait.
I got my license. I told you why. I told you why, right?
Oh, no.
My license expired
Maybe
in March.
You told me your license. Yeah.
And I had struggled getting an appointment, which I learned you can't use an appointment for renewing a real ID. And so I had a hard time getting getting set up for it. Like I needed documents that were missing. I needed to fill out this and that. And then I had to wait until after my honeymoon, and then I went to Newark, and it was really nice because like coming back from Paris.
Wow, how was New York?
No, Newark, California.
Oh, Newark.
But it was nice because coming back from Paris and using the public transportation, I was like, I need to do this more like at home. And then rather than having Catherine drive me to Newark, I barted and bussed. I stayed the night there. My dad dropped me off at the DMV. I got my paperwork sorted, and then I barted and bussed back home. That was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. And then like what I was saying earlier was that like when you do things like that, you pay more attention to like your surroundings, and you see people living life and out there. And essentially, one thing I learned a lot about art is when you're stuck inside your apartment or your desk too long, your well of inspiration starts to dry up. And there's a lot of things you can pick up just from walking outside for a little bit and observing people.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where it comes from, actually.
New York.
From New York. You like New York.
That was in New York.
You like going to New York.
I do like going to New York.
You got buddies there.
I got buddies there. I got a lot of buddies there. Got a whole lot of buddies there. You wouldn't believe the amount of buddies I got in New York. You wouldn't believe it. If you knew, you would be baffled. All right. Carnage complete.
Venom complete.
Wow. Did we just finish our art at the same time?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Hey,
we're so in
happy
sync.
Pride Month.
Happy Pride. All right, let's see. Let's walk us through your piece.
The Carnage or the Venom? You want to start with Venom?
Let's start with the Venom. Yeah.
Okay. So here
Whoa.
is Venom.
Wow,
it looks a lot better on your
you gave him
your screen.
You gave him 5 tongues.
Yeah.
Imagine all the kissing you can do.
Yeah. Let me zoom out a little bit so the crowd can get the tongues.
Nice.
Yeah, got 5 tongues. A little bit of webbing, but it's like the chaotic webbing because Venom. I was kind of thinking about like the spider. Remember the spider who was on drugs?
Yeah. They made
that.
them build their webs on drugs.
Yeah. And then let's zoom in here.
Look at this guy. He's so happy to be evil.
The old Edward Brock. Old Edward Brock here, and I gave him some. So he's like flowing into the symbiote. It's got this little, I don't know what you would call it.
It's symbiote.
Just some
symbiote.
energy, just going into the symbiote. And then it's Gregory.
You drew his buddy.
There he is. Okay, yeah. And then wait, sorry. There we go. And I drew old Carnage because I drew too fast. So I got the old Carnage
with
here.
His big blue eye.
And he's got his big blue eye. He actually kind of looks like Biolante. I realized that after.
Who is that?
I kind of drew. Biolante's a kaiju from.
Oh yes, I know.
Yeah, so like the head is a little Biolante-y. So I guess I drew Carnage as a kaiju.
Ooh,
so.
Maybe we do Godzilla next time.
Sure. Are you gonna have me back
when the album's out? Yeah.
When the album's out?
Yeah. We're gonna do a listening party.
I do want to do a listening party. I was thinking about that, but
I'm down.
It's like. I mean, what are you gonna draw and then just like let the music play?
Or we keep the mics on, do some commentary.
I don't really want to do that, but
I could sing over.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see your Venom.
So this is my Orca Venom. I think this is this. I'm pretty stoked with this design actually.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's very cool. It could be a Rivals of Aether skin.
It could be. Oh wait, is there an orca in that game?
There's an orca. Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, it kind of makes me want to do like I've all you know how like a lot of artists do like a loteria card set.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
or not, or maybe like a tarot card set. Like a lot of artists will be like, oh, here's my version of the tarot,
Oh,
tarot
sure.
card. I wanted it. How cool would it be if I did like a series of concept sketches of like Spider-Man, like Mexican Spider-Man, Mexican drawn Spider-Man, where all the characters are like they don't have to be like Day of the Dead or like it's just this Venom, like
real Mexican culture, like Mexican Gwen Stacy. Is that what you mean?
No, I just mean that like this is just what this Venom looks like. He looks like a shark.
Right.
Like just reimagine him completely. Like not even trying to keep similar ideas. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of the redraw. It's a very like trying to transform. Do you always feel this inspired by your refiguration of whatever the source material is?
Sometimes, I mean, like in my previous episodes, like they're just fun, like fun reimaginings. Like I did a fun one for BMO from Adventure Time, but I didn't feel like I was doing anything crazy. This is the first time where I'm like, okay, like you kind of get lost in the conversation. You the ideas that come to you, you're not overthinking them. You're just kind of leading into them. And and this kind of came out, so pretty happy.
Yeah.
Austin,
Cool.
this was a freaking great chat.
Right.
Is there anything else you want to leave us with?
I'm working on the album. The only website that you need to worry about is theinvisiblesundial.com. I have a mailing list. Like, I don't really keep up with socials, so if you're not on the mailing list, you can sign up. Email is the way of the future, even though it is the way of the past. Social media is ephemeral, like we've been discussing. So,
Yeah.
step outside of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Step
Keep
outside the bubble.
doing
Get
your
out of the
own thing.
matrix.
Gain your agency. Create with your own kind of spirit. You know, do what you can within your means. Obviously, you know, whatever makes the most sense. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the drawing. And thanks Sway for having me. I had a good time.
I'm glad. Thank you. And thank you for giving us your time. All right, folks. That is a wrap. Hope you have a restful Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday? Is
See-
that your
see-
next one's Tuesday?
See you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, our guest is going to be Casu Hearts. And the theme, I still got to think about. All right, folks. Here's the outro.
See ya.
See
Peace.
ya.